Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, folks. It is the notorious, glorious V, the Gorilla Economist, coming to you live with my main. Wait, Elko goes not here today because he's in a meeting, and we have with us the man of the hour, the social commentator extraordinaire, the one and only Gus Demas. You can check out Gus's work over at perpetualassets.com. Perpetualassets.com, preparing you for the inevitable, making sure that your 401k does not wind up being a 101k. Call Gus Demas or his fine feathered friend, Will Lear, over at perpetualassets.com. And with that being said, Gustavo, aka Treason, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, bud.
So, like I was telling you, there's a couple of the border towns up there are not far from. You could be near the Colorado border or the like the Park City. You could be near Salt Lake City and Park City. I fucking love skiing. If I could pick like the funnest thing ever, more than poontang and shooting and everything, is skiing. Like that's when I'm happiest. So yeah, there's places up there that are. The state is fucking great. I mean, so when I'm analyzing states, like places to live, places to have a business, or places to physically, live, for me, it's 5 or 6 variables. It's state income tax. It's fucking huge. What are the gun laws? That property taxes, sales tax. What is the government? What is the state legislature? What is the governor? What are how does it vote red? Does it vote blue? Blah blah blah. And the problem with Nevada is it's still got a lot of the libertarian, Republican check boxes, but they sacked it in 2018. They sacked it. I don't know if it's mail-in voting. I don't know if it's fraud. I don't know if it's LA and transplants and Tijuana welfare queens, but they sacked it. The legislature's blue, the governor's blue. It's a very Nevada, kind of like Arizona right now, is tinkering back and forth. Like Jesus. It's right. It can go either way, right? So if Nevada, if we're wrong and this election is. If Nevada shows me this election, like if this doesn't snap you fucking people out of it, and you guys fucking vote these motherfuckers out, then I know Nevada's no longer. It's not a place I want to set roots. It's too risky because again, when the government is blue, when a state government is totally blue, even if there's awesome remnants of our principles. There's eventually there's going to be a state income tax. Eventually, they're going to come down on guns. Eventually, like I said, if this doesn't snap, and I'm just using Nevada as an example, but keep an eye on all those states like Arizona. Colorado's fucking lost. New Mexico's fucking lost. But if Nevada and Zona don't come back hard red, then I wouldn't set roots in Nevada. Me personally. Because again, state income tax, speech, guns, blah blah, everything we always talk about, dude. So I wouldn't stay here. I would come here to play a lot, but sure. in regards to where I would be physically, my money, all that, I like those states. Wyoming is the most crypto friendly state in America. Yep. It's constitutional carry state, open carry without a permit, concealed carry, open carry, blah blah blah. It's one of the 5 or 6 most gun friendly states. There's no state income tax. There's no corporate tax. Wyoming is fucking awesome. And if you get a Wyoming border town, if you live in a Wyoming border town, then you still could enjoy a nice nightlife. And for me, being a skier, I would live near the Utah border and hit Park City and Salt Lake. But a lot of other people might do like on the other side of Wyoming. You're near like the Colorado border where you can get to Denver in a couple of hours or whatever. Me being a bachelor and a business owner, I'm very mobile. Where other people don't have that luxury, they have kids in school or they have a 9 to 5 or whatever, and them just leaving is a bitch. But like I said, if from what I'm seeing, and tell me if you're seeing it wrong, there's there's a mass exodus from these cities, these blue cities. Commercial and residential real estate is being fucking crushed. San Francisco, New York. But, and this is what my friends in Chicago and some of my friends in Florida tell me, the real estate prices and everything, and I don't know if it's this way in upstate New York or outside of New York like you. From what I'm hearing, the suburban real estate prices are booming because everyone's leaving the city saying fuck this. So the housing markets outside of metropolitan areas are doing just fine. It's the exodus from the metropolitan areas that's crushing everyone.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's there's a video that this guy posted. Let me see if I can pull it up. And it literally oh yeah, here we go. All right, let me just all right, hold on. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to show you a video real quick. What's happening right now currently in Fifth Avenue in New York. And if people that don't know what Fifth Avenue is, that is, I mean, my God, dude, you have the creme de la creme. You have the Hermes store. You have, you know, Salvatore Ferragamo, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Omega, everything.
We talked about this last week, bro. And 2 weeks ago, I never thought, take LA, take Chicago, take New York City. I never thought they'd allow them. I never thought they'd have the balls to allow them. I'm talking about these liberal commie mayors and district attorneys. I never thought they'd have the balls to allow them to sack the jewels. So, and then, yeah, I know, dude. Fifth Avenue, Park Avenue. I never thought these liberals would allow these fucking parasitic fucking losers to, dude, they've sacked the jewels of these cities. Yeah. I thought Rodeo Drive would be protected at all costs. Michigan Avenue would be protected at all costs in Chicago, and Fifth and Park and, you know, in Manhattan. And I was wrong. Like I said, if I've been wrong about anything in the last 5 months, I didn't think they were capable of this level of madness.
They really are. It's terrible.
I didn't think they were capable of this level of madness. If you need to know, if you can't snap the independent, and that's what's really concerning to me. If someone in the middle can't do a simple audit or look at around the country, dude, Las Vegas doesn't have a liberal mayor. That's why Las Vegas Boulevard is just fine. San Diego doesn't have a liberal mayor. That's why the fucking Little Italy is just fine. Yeah. Your Democratic and liberal mayors and prosecutors are allowing them to literally destroy your city on purpose. Dude, it's on purpose. It's 100% on purpose. These are we've been saying it, dude. I've been saying this for 2 months. These are their militia. These are their mercenaries. These are their voters. Like, this is their brown shirts. But I just never thought there were a few areas I thought they would protect, and I was fucking wrong. I can't believe they let Fifth Avenue go down. I can't believe they let Michigan Avenue go down. They don't give a fuck.
No, they don't.
And here's the thing: give a fuck.
You know, people talking about the whole entire crisis with the evictions and stuff. There's a problem here. Most people don't realize that when you look at real estate, like in New York. I just got off the phone before I came live with Gus. I was speaking, you know, as most people know, we're in the middle of launching an exchange. So I was talking to a CEO of a pretty sizable bank in the UK that's going to be, you know, on board with what we're doing. And they used to have an office down in Manhattan. They closed that down. They had 2 offices. They closed down one, and they're in the process of closing down the other. And a lot of their clients that they're dealing with right now, they know for a fact, pretty much all the commercial real estate space, all the landlords of those commercial real estate spaces and whatnot, and these high-rise apartments and condos and whatnot, these guys are all leveraged to the hilt, 90%. All of them are leveraged to the hilt. They make their money by counting on those rent payments being there, then refinancing and keeping the whole, kit and caboodle, taking the money out and keeping the whole entire, kit and caboodle going. These companies that have been ransacked and looted, not once, not twice, but some of them 3 times already, Gus, 3 times already, they're not coming back.
There's a domino effect that commies and socialists and basement dwellers, these people aren't really well versed in finance. There's a domino effect when people default on payments. It doesn't matter.
Right.
One person's debts, another person's one person's liabilities, another person's asset.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if it's a fucking your rent, car, student loan. Someone has lent that money. So when you default, there's another side of that. That domino effect makes that is in fact what caused it. Like the greatest. You could argue liquidity is probably the number one variable for debt deflation. Number two would be defaults. It's what we saw in 2008. Just default. So not only do you have a domino effect down the road of that occurring, but then the asset is no longer the valuation of the asset goes to shit. So you not only you have the loans not being paid on one side, and which is the only thing I would argue, honestly, the only place this is really good. And this is good. When there's blood in the streets, that's when it's time to buy. So in 6 months, a year, man, there might be some great opportunities in San Francisco or New York or Las Vegas if you want to roll the dice in a liberal city. And that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Even if the asset, let's say a condo in New York, it's chopped down by 40 or 50%, and I'm like, oh, this might be a great opportunity to buy. I'm like, wait a minute. Can I trust the mayor with my property?
Well, can you trust the state legislature? Look at California with they're coming out with a 0.04% wealth tax if you left California in the last 10 years.
I've always said this. I always evaluate sovereign risk, and I always evaluate the ease of liquidity of an asset. And I've argued about property. I've always been I'm not a big property investor. And the reason why I always tell people is you really never own the property. The government owns the property. Correct. If you don't believe me, stop paying your property taxes.
Correct.
If the asset is yours and you haven't sold it, why am I fucking paying taxes on it? Is it for the indoctrination public school that's currently not even going on? So property taxes, there used to be a thing called a allodial title, which meant there are no property taxes.
That is the root title to the land. That's outright ownership, man.
Yeah, that's you're taxing me on something I own. Fuck off. Which goes to if there were just capital gains tax on property, I'd be okay with it. But the fact that you have to pay property taxes is to me, you don't own the asset. You're just leasing it from the government. That's the first problem I have with property. The second is it's highly illiquid. Where an ounce of gold or a Bitcoin or a share
I can liquidate it within 24 hours.
Minutes, an hour, whatever. Yeah,
you can't liquidate a house. It takes months.
Exactly right.
If ever. I mean, dude, there are properties sitting here in New York, like straight up riverfront property. There's 2 million, 5 million, 10 million that are just sitting there. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, those are my numerous bullet points. And the third thing with property is it's very, very easy. If someone's trying to fuck you, it's very easy to lean on it. So it doesn't matter.
Easily.
If someone slips on a fucking banana peel outside of your house and like, I'm putting a lien on your house. It's like, try putting a fucking lien on a Bitcoin.
Come find me.
Yeah.
Find me.
Those are my issues with property.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's like people are obsessed with, I'm going to go buy a house. First of all, real estate is not a good investment. Anybody who says that is working or has some sort of a kickback from a bank or a mortgage broker. It's not a good investment. I mean, look at the guys who are out there pimping. Like, look at Grant Cardone, right? He was out there, I own multi-unit apartment buildings, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden COVID hit, and this guy is literally on the verge of bankruptcy at this moment. He can't fly around on his jet.
The issue most Americans have, forget about these guys pimping real estate. The issue most Americans have, I think, my opinion is far too much of their net worth is invested in real estate. So
that's the problem.
I'm not anti, oh my God, you own your house. What the fuck are you thinking? I'm anti, you had $50,000 to your name or $100,000 to your name, and you put all of it in your house. Like, you don't have any.
You flush it down the toilet.
You have no other allocation of assets, and you took your entire capital nut and you put it in one fucking speculative asset, in a democratic in a commie jurisdiction. Are you fucking crazy? Like,
exactly.
So if you got $500,000 and you put 50 of it towards a down payment on a house, okay, cool, fine, whatever. You rolled the dice on 10% of your fucking capital, okay. But most homeowners, most first-time homeowners, don't do that at all. They take half of their net worth or 75% of their capital and dump it into their home. And I'm
so stupid.
Dude, it's
terrifying.
You're speculating on one asset that, like I said, is highly illiquid. You don't really own it. The government does. Like it's all these. Yeah. So again, I'm not anti-owning. It just should be my preference would be if I own a place, it would be with. I wouldn't spend more than 5 or 10% of my net worth on it.
Bingo. Exactly.
For the down payment, that is.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And so if I got to ditch it, I could ditch it. I don't care. Come find me. You
know, if you have to ditch it, or I'm not speculating on that one asset. It's like you shouldn't. That'd be like any asset that you're going all in on is a bad, in my mind, is a bad speculation because again, it doesn't even matter if it's gold. So if someone calls me, they're like, I got $1,000 to my name. I'm like, oh, maybe you don't want to spend 100% of it on gold, like spread it out or whatever.
I mean, here's the thing, Gus. Would you rather own $1 million home outright, or would you rather own $1 million business?
$1 million business.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only downside to the business, if it's incredibly more functional, it's revenue producing, you blah blah blah. The only downside to a business, and this holds true for my business too, all businesses. Businesses are even more illiquid than property as an asset. So right. If me and Will wake up tomorrow, we're like, you know what? Let's fucking sell perpetual assets. It might take 3 months, 6 months, whatever. You have to find a buyer. So businesses are liquid, but there's no fucking there's no property, there's no this, there's no that, there's no their businesses are and again they produce revenue, and the valuation on a business could 5x, 10x, 20x, where your house is not going to 20x in 5 fucking years.
No, your house could be a negative 20x in 5 years.
Yeah. So to take it full circle, that even if these markets, even if these big city markets, dude, I would love to own a place. If I felt it'd be nice to own a place in a Trump Tower in Chicago. Like it's a beautiful building. It's in River North. Can I trust the mayor of Chicago? Can I trust even if Trump Tower units in Chicago crash fucking 50% in the next 6 months? Can I trust these people with my capital? Fuck no. Like, what have they shown me? And that's where it goes to the old cliche. And that Beetlejuice, that fucking beaver bumper even said it after Walmart is like, we're not coming back. Fuck you. Capital goes where capital is welcome.
Gresham's law, money goes where it's treated well.
Yeah. It's like, why the fuck am I giving? Like, not only am I investing in an asset in this jurisdiction with a commie cunt and fucking whatever, but on top of it, she's going to talk shit to me? Like, I'm a bad person. Like, bitch, who's doing who a favor? Right. It's like, that's what's most mystifying about all these fucking revolutionaries. It's like, dude, we don't need you. Like, you're a parasite. Like, you're not bringing any. They're all we got to do. Like, they're out there fucking burning shit, pulling people out of cars, and they don't bring anything to the table. They're fucking losers. Like, it's like that's what's most fucked up to me. It's like, dude, I've said for a long time, you could either steal my money or call me a piece of shit. You just can't do both at the same time. Like, so if you're in New York City, if you live in New York City, they've been stealing your money forever. But now they're calling you a piece of shit on top of it. It's like, dude, pick one. Either call me a piece of shit and don't touch my money, or you take your cut in the city, the county, blah, 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 and leave me the fuck alone. Like, that's there's an exodus happening. And I personally would never trust San Francisco with my money. The city of San Francisco. I would never invest. I would never put a fucking dime into that fucking city. There's 0.0 chance. No matter, even if San Francisco real estate got crushed by 75%. I wouldn't put.
Yeah, I wouldn't put no, because you're asking for trouble.
Dude, the city might vote on letting homeless people live in your fucking house.
Look at downtown Detroit as an example. Look at Detroit as an example. What in Detroit has went 10x in terms of real estate? Nothing. It's been in a state of dilapidation for the last several decades. They've had various building projects. They had urban renewal projects and urban gardens, and they try to gentrify certain areas. They try to get money back into certain areas, but nothing's 10xing over there. You don't see business frolicking back to Detroit.
Well, like I said, I hope, bro. I hope me and you are overly pessimistic or hard on moderates and independents and even sane liberals. I hope we're overly hard on them and they find this madness as unacceptable as we do. Like I said, if I see a lot of those purple states go hard red in November, it will make me, I will stay in Nevada. I would prefer to stay here because I love the nightlife. So I get all the libertarian check boxes, right? I get my no income tax, I get my guns, I get this, I get that. I get all those check boxes, and then I get an awesome nightlife too. I get fucking chicks, I get gambling, I get booze, I get this, I get that. So I don't want to fucking leave. But if it's a fucking blue sweep, dude, I'm like, you know what? Fuck off. Like I'll come visit every fucking 6 fucking months like I used to.
If I want to visit a season is something that I could visit.
You don't want to be, and we've said it for a while now. Like you don't want to be, if he landslides, for example, even if Trump landslides in November, what do you think is going to happen in downtown Chicago?
They're going to riot.
Dude, it's going to be fucking like a motherfucker. You don't want to be around these people, dude, for anything. You don't want to let them vote on your freedoms, on your money, on your fucking ability to fucking defend yourself. You especially don't want to be around them when they fucking lose, because they're going to do the same shit. And at least in a red city or red state or red whatever, they put the proper people in jail.
Hey, we got Bix here. Bix, thank you for the super chat, buddy.
There he is. Speaking of you, dude.
Speaking of the devil,
dude, get the fuck out of Oakland, Bix.
Yeah, Bix, what are you doing in Oakland? You're still there, bro. What are you doing?
Get the fuck out of Oakland. Dude, I will fucking send the Ryder truck my fucking self. Get the fuck out of there. So it's. I try to
Biggs, you better get out of there before the governor Newsom tries to drone strike you.
Bix is gonna be fucking getting state agents trying to break their metal detector so they can't find his silver. just like Will. Will's like, like I think Will finally reached his breaking point too. Where he's like, you can't trust these people, dude. You just can't. No. And San Diego's the Republican mayor in San Diego is the only thing saving them right now. Otherwise, you'd see the same shit. So it's like I said, November is gonna fucking tell me a lot. I hope the people in the middle see it. This isn't normal. None of this is normal. Like, and if they really are okay with this, or they bought the fucking fake news the last fucking 5 months, it's depressing, but I'll just relocate. Like I don't want to leave here, but I know what will happen. I know what will happen when these fucking assholes take charge in January of 2021. So if Arizona and Nevada have flipped blue permanently, this will not be home for me. This is just a temporary stop and somewhere else. You can't, dude, like I said, you can't trust them. You can't trust them with your freedom. You can't trust them with your money. You can't trust them with your ability to defend yourself. And I'd much rather be like, take the McCloskey. Dude, how great is it, not to get off on a rant, how great is it that the McCloskeys are speaking at the Republican convention? And so is Nick, so is the Covington kid.
Oh, yeah. But can they outdo what has happened at the DNC? Can they outdo that, Gus?
Dude,
can they outdo Sir, Billy Porter right here. Look at Billy Porter.
This is
Hey, stop! What's that sound? Everybody know what's going down.
Like I said, dude, if normal people can't see this for what it is, especially the last 2 days of what they've done with this fucking total shit show, then we're doomed. It's gonna become geographical. Let me put it to you like this: would you rather be the McCloskeys right now in Missouri, which is also, I believe, a constitutional carry state, a stand your ground state? Your governor's Republican, your AG's Republican. They got your back. Would you rather be them? What do you think would happen to the McCloskeys in a blue city, blue state, blue AG?
They're done.
They're fucking done.
Can you imagine in Illinois or New York?
Dude, they're done. They're fucking, dude.
They shouldn't have pointed their weapons at the peaceful protesters.
Yeah, you let them anal rape you and your wife and kill your kids, and it's part of the revolution.
And kick your dog and eat all the food in your refrigerator.
Yeah, you're collateral damage for the revolution. It's you can't trust these people, dude. You cannot. They're putting us in jail for defending ourselves, and they're letting the fucking revolutionaries fucking do whatever they want. And why would how can you live like, I can't live like that. Like it's so, that's why, like I'm saying, November is going to tell us everything, regardless of how it goes. If it does go blue, so be it. I won't, then geography to me becomes even more important, where pick a state where your capital's welcome, your free speech is welcome. You cannot trust these people.
South Dakota, baby.
That's another one, dude. These deep red places are gonna. You think fucking Oklahoma's another one. Oklahoma's safe. Dakota's safe. Wyoming, Utah. My preference is an income tax free state. Obviously, that's why I like Wyoming. So state not to be a greedy capitalist, but state income tax is probably like my number one. Like maybe it's probably a tie between that and guns. Like, so constitutional carry is really nice too. Constitutional carry, for those of you who don't know, means open carry, concealed, no permits, no this. Like, motherfucker, you could carry, period. You could hide it, you could open carry it, you could do whatever. Nevada is an open carry state, but you got to get the CCW for concealed carry, where Arizona is constitutional carry. If you're not a felon, you could constitutionally carry in Arizona. Conceal, open, whatever. That we have to know these laws. Like knowing the stand your ground laws, the gun laws is part of this whole thing. Because if you don't, you'll be the one they stick in prison for defending yourself.
Yep. All this, and at this point, even leaders. Certainly, the leaders of the Black Lives movement have said, "What are you guys riding for?" These pasty basement-dwelling white kids who are from the middle-class suburban America, who are out there screaming "Black Lives Matter," destroying everything, a bunch of commies. At this point, people are like, "What the hell are these guys riding for?" I mean, look at this. This is downtown Chicago, man.
They're riding for two reasons. They're riding, number one, because they're getting away with it. There are no ramifications. So why if there's a serial killer and they won't arrest him, why does he keep killing? Well, because no one will stop him. That's why. And the rioters are the same way. It's like, why are they rioting? Because no one's stopping them, obviously. There's no ramifications. If someone said, Gus, you get to it's 110, so I'm going to use an extreme example right now. In Vegas, it's like 110 the last couple weeks. Gus, you get to walk around in your underwear shooting guns in the air, and anytime you feel like it, I'm like, that sounds fucking incredible. I'm going to do it. And the reason I'm going to fucking do it is because no one's fucking stopping me. I'm allowed to do it. So that's why they're doing it. That's the first thing. The second thing is, dude, this is about a revolution.
Yes.
It's all, and until they will not, if no one stops them, if the DAs and mayors continue to allow this, the end goal is not to get Biden elected. It's not to this. The end goal is they want either a communist revolution or maybe a perpetual revolution or a French revolution where it's fucking, they're executing the rich. And that might be our saving grace, because there's been a lot of like moderate Democratic politicians who kind of at least are savvy enough to know that they're not safe either. Dude, our girlfriend AOC went up last night and wouldn't even promote Biden.
She endorsed Bernie Sanders.
Bro, I gotta hand it to her for at least holding her convictions. At least she's not totally. At least the bitch tells you exactly what she wants. Like at least she's genuine. Like I'm a socialist. Fuck you. Here, where the most of these people are totally. If I can't stand one thing on a person, it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. It's deception. Anyone who, it's so much more refreshing to deal with someone who shows you exactly who they are, who's transparent, and that's one thing you got to love about Trump. Like he's transparent. Like fuck you. Here's who I am.
He's the only one that shoots from the hip, bro.
Dude,
the only one.
It's refreshing. And honestly, of all the things I could say about her, she's fucking transparent. She doesn't hide you. This is who I am. Fuck you. The squad, the whole squad, they're transparent as fuck. They're not. Yeah. The rest of them are not transparent. They're straight up fuck. They're deceiving motherfuckers. Schumer and Adam Schiff and Pelosi. These are evil, deceiving snakes. Where the commies, at least they tell you they're commies. Like, no, this is who we are. Fuck you. So yeah, that's what I mean. The goal is perpetual revolution, communist revolution with an end game where they think they'll be sitting at like Animal Farm. They think they're going to be sitting at the table with the rest of the fucking pigs, which 99% of them won't be. Or it's ongoing revolution where, hang the rich and like more of a French Revolution type thing. That's why it's not going away. And if it goes bad, dude, this country, and we've talked about it, like a lot of the warnings that we saw in Venezuela or Cuba. If it goes bad, dude, it's gonna be hard to turn around, if not impossible. Like,
yeah, this is what I said. If we lose the flame of sacred liberty, man, we've lost it forever, because it took thousands of years to get to 1776. Thousands of years
after Rome fell. After Rome fell, it entered 1,000 years of darkness before the Renaissance. So it's hard to, once you go down it took the Russians 100 years, well, not 100, whatever, call it 80, 1917 to 89 or whatever it was. So once you go down the rabbit hole of tyranny, dude, because the first thing tyranny does in every single example is spy on you, disarm you, eliminate your like it'd be hard to get out of it. It'd be hard to get out of it. We've talked about your options are, and if I could say America, the country, has disappointed me in the last 4 months in one area above all has really disappointed me. The level of ease in which they bent us over. People gave away
I'm telling you, it amazes me.
People gave away their liberties so easily.
For the common cold.
Dude, it was acceptable in March for a couple weeks. The minute they said 2 weeks or 3 weeks, 4 weeks to flatten the curve. Remember that? Remember 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
We need 2 weeks to flatten the curve. We are 5 months later.
The minute that became bullshit, the people should have revolted. Like the minute that became a lie. And we've reached a point, from a jurisdiction standpoint, we've reached a point where these people have a lot of the courts, and that's the problem. Again, you live in a liberal city, liberal state. A lot of the courts have backed the governor's decrees. Like, these governors have given themselves emergency powers forever. Like, how long? Think about it. It's like, take the crazy bitch in Michigan, Whitmire or whatever. She's like she keeps extending her emergency powers. Like, at what point are people going to step in? Or, I mean, again, that's
someone needs to put a cap in her.
Dude, that's the danger of living. And Michigan's got, I think, a red legislature. Like, the fact that they won't stop this tyrannical bitch is fucking insane to me.
Gus, you know what I tell you? I've told you this a million times already, man. And I know you get this, right? Our side is the best at winning debates, winning logic, winning arguments. And our side, look at that red legislature that's in Michigan. They don't want to do anything that's forceful. They want to win the argument and hope that the public sees their argument and the public sees their logic. No, we're past the point of niceties. Unless our side starts cracking heads, we're going to lose this country.
Well, we could learn a lot. I think, and I've said this for a while, we could learn a lot from the tactics of the left.
Yes.
Specifically,
they're committed.
Well, not only committed, but they understand frame. They understand linguistics. They understand the law.
They wrote the bloody book on it.
Dude, they riot. They riot and loot in places they know they're protected.
Yep.
So that they understand the law. They have, dude, Antifa and BLM have free legal help. They're like, so they have the info. We could learn from this. It's like, and that's why I've been preaching to people for 2 months, 3 months. Get a lawyer on retainer. Know your gun laws. Get a video cam on your car. Dude, what they did to the kid in Portland, he stuck up for a fucking tranny. Dude, they beat and robbed a fucking tranny. The kid tries being heroic. Dude, they marched him out of his car like brown shirts, put him on the ground, started beating him. Then they robbed him. Like, and dude, if you watch the video on how it first started, a couple of them pretended to fall like he hit. Dude, they're like European soccer players. Like they pretend they're injured as they're like killing you. Like, dude, that's what I mean. Like we're watching like theatrical thespian fiction right now. It's
absolutely
they're pulling him out of his car. He's trying to escape. He's honking, and like two of the guys in the back of his car, if you see it, they fake fall, and they're like, oh, he's trying to run us off. Like these people are great at understanding the law. They're great at understanding narrative and frame, and that's why I've been preaching. Dude, record. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I only care what a jury thinks. Period. End of story. Video cameras all over my car, body cams, surveillance in my house, blah blah. And that I have done that shit harder than even guns and ammo for the purpose of I know how it plays out. If it plays out poorly, I don't give a fuck what the liberal is. As long as we still have jury trials in this country, you stand a chance if it's recorded. You stand a chance.
You stand a chance.
Because
if it's not recorded, you're screwed.
You're totally fucked. Because they recorded the Portland kid getting fucking beaten to death. But if he had a body cam, a car cam, or whatever, and he was armed and he could defend himself, they're gonna pluck him out. He has the footage. He could shoot. Fuck the prosecutor, fuck the DA, the commies, they're protecting Antifa and BML. Fuck them, who cares? You could put that in front of a jury and say, what would you have done? What would you have done? They're trying to pull me out of my car and my wife or my kid or whatever and trying to kill. They have did you see 2-3 days ago, they were poking a guy with a bat? There were 3-4 guys walking away and they were hitting one of them with a bat, like 2-3. Dude, that guy should have been shot in the head. Like someone hits you with a bat, they should get shot. Period.
Easily.
Like end of story. It should be.
They do this because they know they have no consequence, and they do this because they understand that they're not going to be prosecuted, and the media is on their side. At what point does the president declare emergency powers for himself? At what point does the president flip the switch, cuts off the media feed of peaceful protesters that the media has been putting out there, shuts the whole thing down, brings down the military, and literally cracks down on all of this crap, number one. Number two, at what point does the president freeze all the assets of all these politicians, celebrities, bankers, business people, these fifth column that we've allowed to grow up in this country? At what point do their assets get frozen? At what point do we clamp down on that? I mean, yesterday, like 2 days ago, Gus, the whole internet was buzzing. Big announcement. Somebody's getting pardoned. Everybody was thinking, oh, it's going to be Julian Assange. Everybody was thinking it's going to be Edward Snowden. Everybody was thinking all these things, right? And who gets pardoned, bro?
Susan B. Anthony. And
I mean, you got to be shitting me. Who's next? John Wilkes Booth?
And that triggered them as well. Everything triggers them. Trump is trying to not give them any bullets or ammunition right now. Assange is not a safe pardon until I would argue tactically. I'm talking pure public relations here and narrative and frame. We know what the liberals do. Everything Trump does is we told you so. He's Hitler. Blah blah blah. So if he pardoned Assange, dude, I saw WikiLeaks trending this morning on Twitter. You know what they were trying to say? Like, oh, they're back to the Russia shit. Like WikiLeaks and Russia. And like, so if he pardoned Assange, the first thing they would do. I think the Snowden pardon, even before the election, the Snowden pardon is a safer pardon for Trump before the election. After the election, the day after the election, no matter what happens, he should pardon both of them. Assange and Snowden should both be 100% pardoned. And I've heard people argue so should the CEO of Silk Road. And I know
Ross Ulbricht.
Yeah, I know the crypto community has been fighting for that one for a while.
For a long time.
This is, again, we could learn from their control of frame and linguistics and take their. We're sitting there pointing, dude. Republicans and libertarians are reactionary. The left is doing every day. The left, it's like Van Jones shit. Like every day, the left comes up with a new narrative. It's like they send a mass email. Media Matters sends a mass email in the morning, and it's like, here's what we're fucking saying today, dude. And like clockwork, you have 200 fucking retards saying it, on all the channels and Twitter,
parroting it everywhere,
dude. The exact same phrase, the exact same fucking framing. They're on the same page, and what do Republicans and libertarians do? Conservatives, they react to the narrative or frame already set. Like it's a constant state of self-defense. Like when you're debating someone, that you want to control what's being talked about. We call that frame. You want to control the frame of dialogue. You should be setting the parameter. And that's one thing Trump is fucking amazing at. A lot of the time, he'll just blast out random, like this morning. Yeah. You go to his Twitter feed.
Trump is our media.
He understands setting frame. He sets the arena. Here's the arena we're gonna like. The left and the liberals are always trying to pull into here's the range of narrative we're speaking about today. And Trump will just throw out a fucking bomb, and he gets them reacting to his frame.
Bingo.
So he controls frame, and he does it really well. But more conservatives in the media, on the front lines, on the streets, we have to do a good job of controlling frame. Like, so when someone strikes up an argument with you or whatever, they try to pull you in to the box of whatever they're talking about. Don't let them. You're going to lose. You're constantly on your fucking heels trying to like defend yourself on what they're saying. Shift it. Take off 180 fucking degrees. Like, who the fuck cares about that? Here's what we're talking about. Like, control the frame of the narrative. That way you control the arena. That way you're in charge of the debate. And that's the problem, conservatives. It doesn't matter if it's in the media or the front line or the politicians. They're constantly on the heels of what liberals are trying to push. Here's why we shouldn't do that. Forget about what we shouldn't do. Just throw out fucking haymakers and put them on their fucking heels. Like, so again, there's a lot of shit going on. What have you watched it all the last 2 days?
The DNC thing?
I know the viewership is like less than
I think there was one clip that had like 326 views.
Dude, I swear, hand to God, dude, I tried for like 5. I couldn't. I can't. It's painful. It's painful to watch. It's and I guess I should, only because it kind of, you'll get a peek into what they're trying to brainwash the people with, but maybe you won't because no one's watching it. That's a good sign. I'm at the point where I think the whole mail-in thing is the only chance they have.
No, it is the only chance. They have no way of even winning. They really don't.
Go look at the ratings of everything. Everything. NBA with their woke bullshit, CNN, all these woke, the convention. Look at the ratings. Dude, they're trash.
Yeah,
they're trash. Conservatives, libertarians, they're dominating. Dude, fucking doesn't matter if you're talking about Fox News. A lot of the YouTubers who they haven't fucking canceled yet, but like, so look at all these people are dominating with numbers and reach and all that. I think you nailed it. It's unless it's some sort of mass mail-in fraud, I think it's a landslide.
It's a 1,000% landslide.
Yeah, I'm talking like 400 electoral votes landslide.
It's going to be massacred, bro. Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be a massacre.
So
Trump's going to crush it. And here's the thing: when he does crush it, this second term, all bets, the gloves should be off, the claws should be out, and the teeth should be bared. And it is time to destroy the fifth column in this country. It is time to dismantle the deep state forever, man.
Dismantle the day, if it's decisive and a landslide, the next day, he should be cracking skulls. The next
next day, I better see SEAL Team 6, rappelling onto the headquarters of the Clinton Foundation. I better be seeing that shit.
But that's why it's important. They're putting. It's got to be decisive, because my fear is that they're going to say, "Oh well, we won't know in Michigan for 2 weeks. There's too many mail-in." Like maybe they're pushing for that, man. Maybe that's their whole goal, like unrest after the uncertainty and unrest, like based on the whole mail-in scam. Who the fuck knows? I got a hard stop in 2 minutes, bro.
Real quick, I want to play this ad for everybody if you haven't seen it. Here we go.
No, you're a lion, dog-faced pony soldiers. My memory is not as good as. Am I doing this again?
Please clarify specifically, have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test?
Do you hear it?
Come on, man. That's like saying before you got in this program, you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say to President Trump, who brags about his test and makes your mistake an issue for voters?
The American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness. Wait, you're getting nervous, man.
Dude, fucking epic.
Trump 2020. That is the official Donald Trump ad. And it goes to show that our side, dude, we know how to meme. The left can't meme and do comedy for the life of them.
No. They've spent a lot of money the last fucking couple weeks on ads and videos, and he crushed them in fundraising in July too. Like I said, all this, even CNN poll was a 10-point swing. CNN, so all signs lead good, but again, you can't trust these people. If they've shown you anything the last 4 months, it's, dude, bro, they are capable of anything. Like they will put us in ovens. They're capable of anything. Don't trust these fucking people.
Exactly.
I will catch up with you shortly, brother.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Gus. And folks, thank you so much for listening in. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share. And we'll be back again next week, and probably later on. I think tomorrow TJ and I will be on as well. So keep it locked right here. We're over and we're out.